Russia is defeating America one by one in the war. What? When did the war between America and Russia start? It's not about the war that is fought with weapons. It's about the war that is fought with the network. Imagine waking up one morning to find that the US dollar, the backbone of the global economy for nearly a century, is no longer the world's dominant currency. What if I told you that this scenario is not just a distant possibility, but a looming reality orchestrated by none other than Vladimir Putin? In this video, we unravel the intricate web of strategies that Putin is weaving to dethrone the US dollar and what it means for the future of America and the world. Despite the war with Ukraine, Putin has gone on a world tour. First, he visited North Korea and then Vietnam. Putin also met Xi Jinping. Narendra Modi is also meeting Putin in Russia. In October, Russia is hosting BRICS nations. This video could be the start of World War III. Russia and North Korea are the two countries that have the highest number of sanctions. They are forming a team with each other. Chapter 1. Russia's Friendship. The Russian economy has been a war economy for the past 2 years. Russia's annual defense budget is $386 billion. Inflation is 7.4%, which is quite high. But their economy is also growing by 5.5%. How is this possible? Even a country like America is growing by 2.5%. Many European countries are just out of the recession. How is Russia growing? When a country is fighting a war, more than weapons, it needs friends. Russia has made some all-weather friends, namely China, Iran, and North Korea. They are also called CREEK, and if your friends supply weapons to you, then nothing beats that. According to the data from 2022-23, China and Russia's trade has increased by 50% in just 2 years. And these are just official trade figures. 70% of Russian machine tools and 90% of microelectronics come from China. China is quite smart. China sells such items to Russia that can be used for the military and for commercial applications as well. These items can also be used to make missiles, drones, and tanks, and they can also be used in computers or electric vehicles. In addition, these two countries use their own currency in 90% of their trade. Russia has stopped accepting both dollars and euros. Trade with Western countries has completely stopped. In the first 6 months of 2023, $14 million worth of drones from China went to Russia. Let's talk about Iran. Iran has sent many ballistic missiles to Russia. Just like China tries to hide its relations with Russia, Iran doesn't even try. America believes that Iran and China are producing attack drones for Russia. The 21st century war is going to be a drone war. And now let's talk about North Korea. China, Russia, and Iran have one thing in common. They are diplomatic, meaning they try to hide their real intentions. But North Korea is different. If you want to understand the definition of dictatorship, then look at North Korea. North Korea has recently sent 6,700 containers full of ammunition and 3 million artillery shells to Russia. In North Korea, most of the factories operate at 30% capacity, but the factories that make weapons for Russia operate at full swing or 100% capacity. And why shouldn't they? Russia trades weapons and gives North Korea food. Now you can understand how CRIC countries trade with each other, how they constantly help each other. And because of this, Russia has been fighting with Ukraine for the past 2 years. Okay, Russia is not alone in the war, but what difference does it make to us? Chapter 2, Russia's next move. Why countries like China support Russia? The reason goes back to 2008. When the financial crisis of 2008 happened, there were clouds of recession all over the world. This was the time when the whole world realized that we are over-dependent on the US dollar. During the financial crisis of 2008, it was the fault of the American banks who started giving loans without thinking nationals. And when this bubble broke, the markets crashed. But if this had happened in any other country, then it would have been just the problem of that country. But this happened in America. So the problem was not just America's problem. This problem became a global problem. To save the American dollar and the American economy from America's financial crisis, the whole world took ranks, and some of the world's leaders were upset about this. Today, China believes that by supporting Russia, if US dollar is weakened, then it is good for China. 80% of the world's trade is in the US dollar. This gives America a lot of power, because it is only the American Fed that controls how many dollars to print and which country can use the dollar for what purpose. China believes that we need de-dollarization. you can see the impact of this today. Because 80 countries in the world are talking about de-dollarization, the dollar became the world's trade currency because of the petrodollar agreement, where along with Saudi, many oil-producing countries agreed that oil will be traded in the US dollar. But the interesting thing is that this deal expired in June of this year, and at the time of making this video, the agreement has not been renewed. This is the biggest challenge for America right now. On the other hand, Russia is making friends one after the other. Let's focus on North Korea. Russia and North Korea need each other. North Korea needs oil and gas, and Russia needs artillery and ammunition. North Korea is the most isolated country in the world, but now Russia has become an official friend of North Korea. What happened is that North Korea and Russia signed a defense pact. This deal says that if anyone attacks North Korea, Russia will help them. And similarly, if anyone attacks Russia, North Korea will help Russia. This pact is similar to the one between America and Taiwan, which we have explained in this video. One term in this is very interesting and dangerous, and that is using all available means. That is, both countries have nuclear weapons, and if needed, both countries can use nuclear weapons. That is, now North Korea has entered the Russia-Ukraine war. North Korea is going to send its troops to fight against Ukraine. If North Korea stands against Ukraine, then it will be a big challenge for Western countries. Chapter 3. Future of Global Economy. Usually we talk about the GDP of one or two countries, but what is the GDP of the world? Estimates say that the world GDP is about $105 trillion. But who controls all this wealth? The obvious answer would be all countries, right? Wrong. In fact, 75% of this entire wealth, i.e. 3/4, is controlled by only two groups. The first group is G7, i.e. USA, Canada, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK, and France. These are the most advanced and richest countries in the world. Almost half of the world's economy, i.e. $45 trillion is controlled by G7 countries. The second group is BRICS, i.e. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. All these countries together control $30 trillion. 59 countries have expressed their desire to become a part of BRICS. And now the news is that BRICS will no longer be a group of just 5 countries. BRICS is expanding. Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the U.A.E. It is possible that after Saudi Arabia and the U.A.E. become a part of BRICS, a new currency may be developed with which these 10 countries can trade with each other. Saudi Arabia has a big say in OPEC countries. Other OPEC countries may follow Saudi Arabia's steps. And if there is one person who will be most happy to know this, then it is this person, Vladimir Putin. Chapter 4, Cold War 2.0. After understanding all these facts, we have some questions. Why is Putin making friends? What is India discussing with Russia before BRICS? Is there a secret plan about de-dollarization? One thing is certain, in coming days there will be a lot happening in geopolitics. All these events may not be the beginning of World War III, but yes, they can signal Cold War II, because many countries are making teams with their old allies who used to be their allies during the Cold War. For example, North Korea. Just like America and Japan were fighting with each other during World War II, the Soviet Union was also fighting with Japan. At that time, undivided Korea, i.e. North and South Korea, were under Japanese occupation. After Japan's defeat, the USSR made Kim Il-sung the leader of North Korea. In 1950, North Korea attacked South Korea, and at this time South Korea took the help of Western countries. And since then, South Korea has become a Western ally. Technically, the war between North Korea and South Korea never ended, but both the countries signed an armistice in 1953. In 1961, the Soviet Union and North Korea signed a mutual assistance pact. It was also written that if one country is attacked, the other country will help. North Korea became a communist country, and South Korea became a Western-type democracy. Is that there has been only one superpower in the world for the past 30 America. America is an economic superpower and also a military superpower, and there is not a single country that can compete with America. Putin understands this, and he is very smart. So Putin is not fighting this battle alone. He is making friends one after the other. And in this war, the country that cannot make friends will definitely increase its enemies.